Good afternoon. It's Wednesday afternoon. I'm warm outside. Beautiful day. Just driving through the city right now. Thought you might want to see a glimpse of downtown as I commute in. And I wanted to pick up from the last video. So if you haven't watched that, make sure you see the last video. I was talking about just what I think is the first steps to beginning your credit repair process. So by now, when you see that, you should have in your hands your reports. Now you want to make sure that you get both reports from both scoring systems, that is the Vantage 3.0 and the FICO. You can get the Vantage scores using apps like Credit Sesame, Credit Karma, or if you use Capital One Bank, they offer that through their CreditWise. I'm sure there's other banks as well that might offer you that. I think Bank of America offers a credit score. I'm not sure what platform they use. But for your FICO, you can get that from MyFICO, myfico.com, or I use Experian.com. You can get your scores from that. So you need to make sure you get both scores, because the different scoring models, your score is going to be different. Your Vantage score and your FICO score is going to be different. Mostly, the Vantage is usually higher because they have a more lenient scoring model, or rather, they look at different indicators. Whereas FICO, my FICO anyway, is lower than my Vantage. I think there are times when it can be the opposite. It all depends on what your credit on what is on your credit report. So once you got those in your hands, you need to have a realistic knowledge of what your credit looks like. All right. So analyze it, study it, make sure the information is correct. Your names are spelled correctly, your addresses are the right addresses. You also see information on there on where you worked or have worked. You might have some accounts on there that are not yours. Take note of things like that, because you can get that stuff corrected. You can get that stuff removed if it's not yours. And you also just be aware of what is on your credit, what accounts are on there, and do you have any credit? Do you have any credit cards that are open? Do you have any credit cards that have been closed and are in collections? Do you have medical bills? All that kind of stuff. The whole idea is to be aware. Knowledge is power. You need to have the knowledge of what is on your credit report. Just knowing that you have a 550 score, a 450 score, a 650 score, whatever, is not enough, because it's not just the score, it's the contents of your credit report alongside your score. All right. And that is why there is no one size fits all to repairing your credit, because credit reports, every credit report is really like a fingerprint. No one credit report is going to be exactly the same. There's going to be differences in every credit report. Even if you take two 550 credit scores, you take two individuals, each with a 550 credit score, and you look at their credit reports, those credit reports are not going to be the same, even though they have the same score. That means that the credit repair process for those individuals will be different. Every credit repair process, credit building process for every individual has to be tailored according to what is on their credit report. All right, that's why there's no one size fits all. So I will share with you some of the things that have worked with me to make improvements to my credit, and some of the information that's out there, because the way that I may have done things is not may not be exactly the way that you need to do yours. It will depend on what is on your credit report. That's why, like I've said in my other previous videos, credit intelligence is what's important. We need to be intelligent about what credit is, and what credit accounts are on our report, and what are the differences in credit accounts, and what improves what needs to be done to improve our score based on what is on our credit file. Because like I said, my approach may not be your approach. Somebody else's approach, just because they are a 450 credit does not mean the approach is the same. All right, because there's a lot of information out there, and on how to fix your credit. One thing that I do not recommend is doing what is known as a credit sweep. I don't know how those guys do it, but there's some folks out there who will do what is known as a credit sweep, where they just, I don't know what they do, but they make your credit look as if there's nothing on there. Like they give you start afresh. But what people don't realize is that when you step into a dealership or you step into a bank, they're able to see stuff that may not appear on your credit, because some of these accounts, and I've had people come into just a little bit background about me, and really what gives me some of the knowledge that I have is because I have been looking at credit reports for well over 10 years now. So I kind of have an idea of what credit reports look like, what a good credit report looks like, credit mix, a good report with credit mix, because of the type of industry that I am. I am in the auto industry, I've been both as a sales consultant, and I've been a sales manager and a director for the last, and done some financing for the last 4 years. So I've looked at credit reports for a really, really long time. So I was saying to say this, that we had a gentleman that came into the dealership and was purchasing a vehicle, and by all means his score looked pretty decent. He had like a 660 score, and the whole time that he was there, he seemed kind of nervous, and was just on his report to see what we're going to pull. And when we pulled his report, he didn't. By all means, his score was good. It was a mid 600 score, and it seemed clean. It seemed like a clean 660 score. But then I'd like, oh great, no problem. You're definitely gonna get approved for this vehicle that you're looking at. But when we submitted him to the bank came back as saying that he had a repossession. And we're like, wait a minute, this repossession does not appear on your credit report. Come to find out, he had done a credit sweep. Now, I don't know how that credit sweep stuff works, but I'm telling you, don't even get involved in that, because it does not really remove your information. The credit sweep thing is a little bit is different from disputing erroneous information or negative information on your file. It's different, and that's why it does not remove information that is on your credit report. So in this video, I wanted to mention the fact that there's different ways, there's different formulas, different ways that you have to repair your credit. It's not a one size fits all, but you have to begin by looking at your credit report to figure out which direction is best for you. All right, there are cases, I honestly believe that it's a combination of disputing some items are on your credit because they are incorrect, they're not being reported correctly, or they're not being reported by the right source. Your Fair Credit Reporting Act privileges have been violated. So you need to so some of those things that are on there are not being reported correctly. So it's a combination of many different things. So that's one of the ways. Some stuff has to be disputed, but some stuff you just have to figure out a way to pay them off. It has to be a combination of those methods. Paying off some stuff. I'll tell you the methods that work for me. I called some of the accounts that I had on there. Had decent balances. Some high, some low. But I called and got deals made. I made deals with the creditors to pay off a balance lower than what was on my report. And some stuff I had to call and dispute and get them off of my credit. So it's a combination of both. It's not a matter. It's not only a matter of disputing everything, because there's it's not a one method fits all. It's not just saying, oh, the only way you can repair your credit is by sending dispute letters, verification letters. That's one method, depending on what is on your report. And another method could be to say, hey, let me make a deal with these creditors. My balance might be 500. They might take 150. They might take 250. Whatever. My balance might be 2,000. They might take 500. They might take 750. And you get on a payment plan and pay them off. Because one of the things that people don't understand, like for me, my credit file dates back, I don't know, 15 years maybe. I mean, it's a pretty old credit file, close to 20 years. And some of the stuff that I have on there, some of the accounts that I had on there were aged. Now, one of the things that is important with your credit mix is having some aged accounts. So if I had some of those accounts disputed and deleted off of my credit, that would have made my credit file young, and that affects your credit score. That's why there have been people who have disputed some things, got some stuff deleted off their credit report, and then instead of their credit increasing, it has actually dropped, because now the age factor of the credit file is being affected. So I'm gonna end this video here. My mount is acting up, but we're gonna get into some more details. So then again, in this video, I just wanted to focus on the fact that we need to understand the importance of pulling our credit report, is so we can see the information that's out there. We need to educate ourselves with what our credit report actually looks like. I ask so many people and talk to so many people and say, hey, have you looked at your credit recently? They're like, oh, no, I haven't. Do you know what is on your credit report? No, I haven't. Do you know what your credit score is? No, I don't know. When was the last time you looked at your credit? Oh, I haven't looked at. But yet you're coming into a showroom and trying to buy a car, or you're trying to get a credit card. Credit intelligence, I tell you folks, is one of them is extremely important. Credit intelligence, that you cannot leave it up to the hands of the bank. You cannot leave it up to the hands of some credit repair so-called expert. A lot of the things that need to be fixed on our credits, we can fix them ourselves. So the first step is credit intelligence, and that begins by you looking at your report. If you see stuff on there that you don't understand, Google it, YouTube it. You're gonna find information about your credit. You're gonna get credit intelligence by seeking out the knowledge. Seek and you shall find. So first step is acknowledging your credit, taking credit repair into your own hands. Get the knowledge, understand what your credit looks like, understand the scores, understand what the lowest score is, the mid score is, the high score is, where you sit. And then now let's begin the process of, after we know what's on our credit, let's begin to identify what we can do to make improvements. Do we need to call lenders and make deals and get up get us to pay balances that are lower than what we owe, so that we can maintain the edges of our credit, or do we need to take the dispute and deletion way method, so that again there's not a one size fits all. So we need to be able to identify what's going to work for you and then move on to the next step of knowing what to do. So join me in my next video as we start looking at the different processes. Again, I'll share with you what has worked for me, and I'll share with you what is working for some people that I know, some people that I'm advising, and we'll go from there. All right, peace.